Okay. Wait a second. I'm going to still sound a little congested. That's okay. Can you not? Jesus Christ! Okay, so let's figure out stuff. What happened last time? Do we remember? Does I remember what happened last time? Yes, no, maybe? Yes, we found out Tina was you. Callisto you. We interrogated her throughout the entire stream. And, what else did we learn? Hey, Phoenix. What else did we learn from last week? We learned that the reason why the raven has 3 legs, there are 3 members of the Yatagarasu. The 3 members of the Yatagarasu are as follows. Bernie Faraday, Callisto U / Sheena, and Tyrell Bass. Towards the end, what happened? After we found out Sheena was actually the person that Kay saw, what happened? Detective Bad showed up. He was going to shoot Tina. Fortunately, he ended up getting Lang in the leg. Lang decided to restrain Sheena and arrest her before Bad could kill her. And then, once Bad gave 2 pieces of evidence to Edgeworth, which are deemed illegal evidence, technically, Edgeworth can't use them in a court of law. And to use them at all could, in fact, cost him his bag. Bad, on the other hand, was arrested by Dick Gumshoe. Guy's probably sad about that, right? Alright, so here we go. We're going to continue off where we last time. Excuse me for sounding congested today. I am still going to continue regardless. So, March 15th, 12:07 a.m. Theatrum Neutralis lobby. So, now we know who the Yatagarasu really was, and yet there remains much to this case that needs to be solved. Like how the weapons cross country lines, for example. 2 countries have incredibly strict security systems and entry procedures. Sort of a miracle is impossible for someone to have smuggled them in. Smuggling them in. We will need to open a new line of investigation. But before we do, I would like to go through my evidence. Unnecessary evidence has been removed. Remaining evidence deranged. Hey! There's a VCR, sir. Now we can see what's on that tape detective bag there. I will explain something about videotape. If left untreated, especially in the span of 10 years, placing them in a clean VCR, there's always a potential risk that the cassette tape itself will get wound up in the head. So, I always want to try to make sure the VHS itself is clean too. I have some VHS that I gotta keep because they've been untreated for a long time, and they're probably going to deteriorate if I don't take care of them. Sure thing, sir. He's holding a knife in his hand. How do you figure that? Unlike you, I actually read the summary file on the KGA instance. The file was now, sir. Actually, I believe it has everything to do with the case we're working on now. Emulator even went so far as to use the torchlight to retrieve it. Which means that in this video lies a very inconvenient footage to the radio. Where? Wait, what was that? Huh? That bit you just played now. Please show it to me again. This car. This is something we cannot overlook. What is that, sir? Look here, Detective Gumshoe. Alright, Daddy. What do you notice? Do you see it? How about Wright? That thing is called a flag.
Take that!
This is the national flag of the Principality of Cadopia. And because it has the national flag on it, we know this to be an official government car. But the question we should be asking ourselves is, what was a government car doing here? You idiot! Clark it! You couldn't! Chase after a simple thing! Now then, let's get down to the real reason why I keep looking for the two of you. I would like you to put the investigation on hold for a while. Can you do that? Excuse me? How you apprehended the thief that turned this into a death? We're in the middle of a event celebrating our country's reconciliation. And we have the successful walking around here forever. So I think you can understand how I feel. We must finish our investigation and resolve this faster! We are so close! Just a little more and... However, as he said at the very beginning, this area can be considered to be Albustine soil. In which case, we are nothing but corners in their way. Is this really where our investigation ends? Sifu! We found Mr. Edgeworth, sir! Sifu! This way! Yo! If I lay back and take a break, I lose the scent of my prey, Mr. Prosecutor. Because I have to solve this case no matter what. This radar investigation really will come to us.
Knuckle back!
Ambassador L, I get it now. I really do. No, not that. What I was talking about is, I know who the killer is behind tonight's murder. You? No? The killer? You mean Agent Lang? Wolves don't lie. Then who is it? Well, let me first say that I'm not talking about Mr. Coach's murder. That was all Sheena. Langsy says the truth lies next to the exit, but rather shines outside the maze itself. The truth is unexpectedly simple. So let me ask you this. Who do you think was the Masked 2's killer? I'll tell you who. It was you, Franziska von Karma! I was the killer? Hey, wait! But that's impossible! Yeah! Ow! Hold your tongue and that ludicrous remark you were about to make. Anyway, are you seriously accusing her of murder? Yeah, I am. Doesn't appear to be joking. Except, I remember just before Ambassador Elba went to give his speech, he called you into his office, right? Yeah. But what does that have to do with anything? Excuse me. I'm getting to that. Furthermore, in order to solve both cases, you moved around rather freely between Albustine and Babal, did you not?
Objection!
And where is your evidence that I am the killer?
Knuckle back!
I was just getting to that, trust me. I'll show them to you in due time. Ambassador Elba, in order for me to bring this case to a close, I'll need to inspect your office one more time. Will you grant me permission? Good. Let's move out. Oh, and don't even think about running away, Sid. My pack will be keeping a close eye on you. You can bet your bottom dollar on that. As if I would have any reason to flee. But just so we're clear, your logic is better than ours. because I'll accept nothing short of a perfect explanation. I'm really upset. I expect that you'd accept no less. We'll see how long you can keep that nose of yours stuck up in the air like that. Hold it! Agent Lang, as someone related to tonight's case, I request you to allow me to take part, so that I may clean up my superior's mess. I guess I should. More the merrier, especially when it's the peanut gallery. Oh, in that case, I want you to join me too. I still haven't seen what it looks like from the outside. And now that's yet. If you let good in, then you gotta let me in too. I can't sit around and do nothing when Miss Von Carlos is wrong. Yay! Hey, dummy! Let's have a competition and see who can save her first, okay? Okay, I'll take you up on that. Oh yeah, I'm fired up and ready to go. If I don't believe it. You're supposed to be excited over it. Sounds like this is going to get real interesting. Ambassador Alba, I'll be bringing these kids along for the ride. I'll just whole mess clean up before you. Now let's go. March 15th, 12:53 a.m. Alabastine Embassy, Ambassador. Okay, now, let's first go over the facts one more time. Manny Coach's body was found over in the Secretariat's office in Babala. The weapon that took his life was one of the Alabastine's ornaments of time. Then, the body of the mask too. Excuse me there, I better stop the smoking. Mr. Kashinu was found here in the Alabastine Ambassador's office. Through our investigation, we found that the murder weapon was the criminal statue, and that this is actually the Babala statue. In this case, no matter how I look at it, this is, if it wasn't you, there's no one else who could have pulled this off. I'll disagree.
Objection!
Agent Lang, do you understand the full implications of what you're saying? Of course I do, sis. And I'm serious. You were on the trail of the smuggling ring and you wanted any evidence you could find. I could bet my pack of Mark over while people were distracted by the Yatagarazu's appearance, you snuck in here. That's when you two ran into each other. You and that other thief that took advantage of the confusion from the fire.
Objection!
Even if all that was true, how do you explain the movement of the weapon? Don't worry, I plan to show that you're the culprit behind that too. You had permission to investigate both embassies at will. That kind of free reign, you could have easily taken the weapon. Hey now! Guys, he called Francisco's wet. See that? He called Francisco's wet. Nobody's been able to do that. I'm sure that's probably something like that. Look, sis, I thought I already told you I'm not messing around here. This case isn't directly tied to the smuggling ring, but Gina certainly is tied to the smuggling ring. She is a member of the smuggling. However, the connection to this case could it not be deeper than what any of us can imagine? Let's get this ridiculous circus over with already. Listen, you need to calm down. Because you only know the facts of the Elvestine side of the case. I don't believe you can see the case as a whole. What? Don't worry. I'm taking this seriously well. The only way to be, Mr. Prosecutor. Can you come up with anything else that can stop my hypothesis? Of course, you're a British national. Well, I will. Let us now evolve into the truth behind the murder of the master. You understand this isn't just a conversation. I can't figure out how the murder of the master then it will mean the end of our Alright. I have no the best I can do is come on, Mr. Prosecutor. Get started. Border crossing weapon. One of the Alabas knives was used in Babal to murder Mr. Kocha. I really gotta stop smoking. And the murder weapon in the killing of Damas too is the Babal Terminon's death. Somehow these two objects were able to penetrate the two countries with penetrable security. The only one who traversed the two countries just before and after the crime was you. So, as long as I can't explain how the weapons moved about, Francesca will remain a suspect? You got it, Mr. Prosecutor. So why don't you stop giving me a hard time? Under these circumstances, who the heck can carry a weapon across country lines? I've worked through every possibility, but there's only one that's possible. Your boss. Aiden Lang, what I've learned from you just now is that you've lost sight of yourself. What are you talking about? By focusing too intently on that which is in front of you, in front of us, we become blind to the truth. Don't tell me Langzing never said anything to that effect. You prosecutor! Who do you think you are speaking about Langzing's proverbs like that? I don't need his proverbs, because my words are all you need. I concur that this knife crossed over country lines. Good, but that's not the only thing that did. We mustn't forget about the other weapon. The knife was only one. saying that the prima doc statue was also brought over by Franziska? Like I told you before, that's the only way it makes sense. Problem with this is, Franziska is not allowed to touch the statue. So, that clearly don't make sense on its own.
Hold it!
And how exactly did she bring it over? I haven't figured that out yet. That already destroyed his eye. That already destroyed things right there. That's a rather weak statement considering how sure you are. Maybe, but there is one thing I do know for sure.
Hold it!
Penetrable? I should hardly think so.
Not so fast!
Seeing the top of the wall between the two countries right? Who in their right mind could cross over that? Yeah, not even I could climb over that thing with all the barbed wire. The only way into each embassy is through the doors of the gates from the travel. So the only way for the knife and the Prima statue to traverse the country is through these security camera equipped, well-guarded doors. I gotta stop smoking.
Hold it!
Was Franziska really the only person to travel and traveled between the two countries? According to the guards at both doors, she is the only one to go back and forth. Since there was an Elabus and got a garage to go. And then just before you guys found Mr. Coach's body, here took the ball. I think we can assume that when she brought the knife into the ball.
Objection!
Then how do you explain the prima dog statue? I haven't quite figured that out yet. However, the fact that the two weapons crossed the border proves that the knife proves that the killer must have also traveled across the country line. The only thing who crossed the border are the prima dog statues. Those are the only two items. So he already gave you a clue. So, what statement? That's the last statement. Well, we can't disprove that. There's no way for us to disprove this statement. There is a way we can disprove this. I can't do next. That was the last thing. This statement here we can try to disprove. So, which piece of evidence would disprove that? Remember, you gotta think about the hint that Edgeworth gave you. And the hint is right in. Which one do you want to pick? This one? You want to pick this one?
Objection!
Yeah, you could have picked either one of the prima doc statues. Agent Lang. Those two items are not the only two to cross the border tonight. Oh? Mask 2 was killed with the ball's prima doc statue, yeah. But if that's the case, then tell me, where did the Elvis prima doc statue go? In the ball. It's like, if the two statues really were switched, then that means that both statues were smuggled across the border. Which means that a total of 3 items were smuggled across the know what? It doesn't matter the number of items. Only that the Sith is the only one that has done it. Alright. Because the only person who went back and forth between Elabeth and Babal is her. Is that really true? Was there no one else who could travel between the two countries? Actually, there was definitely another person who paid a visit to both sides of the wall.
Objection!
Is that really so, Agent Lang? What a lousy time to try and bluff your way out of there. I checked out what the guard said, along with the security camera footage. You're not going to overturn my hypothesis that he...
Objection!
Suppose there was some other way other than through the theater. What other way? The other entity that managed to cross the border unharmed, if I pointed out, it would open up a whole new possibility. Though I hesitate to bring this up, as long as this entity exists, impossible road becomes a possibility. That gives you a clue on what he's talking about, guys. That should give you a big clue. Looks like you got some clever idea in mind. I do. I can show it. Fine then. Let's see this piece of evidence that will show you this other route. This piece of evidence will show us another way to move between the two countries. You know what it is? Thank you for the subscription. very close to 1,000 subscribers. That's our big goal. Because we've already hit the 4,000 watch time. I kind of want to hit that 1K before the end of the year. No, that's not gonna help you. Guys, not gonna help you. That should be all of them. Well, he said entity. That should have been a clue. There's only one piece of evidence that shows any type of entity.
Take that!
Agent Lang, I'm sure you are familiar with this unforgettable photo. That supernatural photo, like I said before. Humans can't fly. No, of course not. I understand that perfectly well. Don't start claiming that Tina somehow grew wings either. I wouldn't dream of claiming that. I won't allow you to take back what you said earlier. I'll say it again, it's not humanly possible to fly through the air without wings. So you'd better have a good explanation for this, Mr. Prosecutor. Alright. But how can I prove who it was that there in this photo. Wait. Eureka! Very well. You will have your explanation. Sounds like you have a good idea simmering inside that head of yours. Let's hear it. The face hidden within the photo's blurry, trailed shadow is... Which one? Alabast or Babal? Unfortunately, it's going to be Alabast statue, which actually makes a lot more sense because you're at the Alabast Embassy, right?
Take that!
Naturally, the shadow is the thing object. The Prepidog statue replica. You can't be serious! The Autographs, or rather, Litho U, dressed as Agent Tina, was inside the ball. She dressed the replica statue up in clothes, launched it.
Not so fast!
Ha! Mr. Prosecutor! You left out a very crucial thing in your explanation. She launched it into the air? Ha! And how exactly did she do that? His clerk is wearing his face, but he has a point. How exactly did it move here like that? As long as that remains unsolved, we won't be able to move any closer to the truth. Which reminds me, didn't he say this earlier? Hey Seth, I remember that just before Ambassador Alba went to speech, he called you into his office, right? So just before the murder, Franziska was called here right into this very room. If that's the case, then that may be another avenue I can pursue. Agent Lang, in order for me to answer that question, I will need to hear testimony from Miss Von Karma. Oh? What are you up to now, pretty boy? Earlier you mentioned something of interest. You said that just before the murder occurred, Miss Von Karma had been in this room because Ambassador Alba had called her here. And for that reason alone, you believe her to be the killer. Yeah, I guess I did say something like that. In that case, I believe it is my duty to ask her what her side of the story is. Ha! Do you really think a criminal will tell you the honest truth? How dare you! As I have said numerous times, there is absolutely no proof that I am the killer. Miles Edgeworth, don't tell me you suspect me too. However, I can't ignore the fact. How am I going to go through 3 hours of this? We'll see. I didn't do any voice acting for the Great Ace Attorney, so... And it was impossible for me to do so because I had no microphone. So I didn't have to worry about my voice drying up on me. Which is why I would like to hear about your movie. Alright, let's try this your way for a change. But if what she has to say turns out to be a waste of time, I'll place her under arrest faster than you can. Oh, no! As you wish. Limits and Alabasta. See if artists can actually record while they're sick, I can do this too. Take notes, Phoenix. You ever get sick? And have to do voice acting? Push through it. Because for one, it's going to make you feel better because you're pushing all the phlegm out of your lungs. As I said earlier, I was assigned to guard duty in the Alabastine Embassy. After I saw the Steel Samurai off on his way towards the ambassador's office, I returned to the Rose Garden for a bit and checked up on the security situation. After all the preparations were in place, I was called back by Ambassador Alba to his office. Francisco, I want us to make this clear from the very beginning. So what I wish to confirm is that the only time span in which you were in the office was before the murder occurred. Is that correct? Yes, of course. I see. For now, the only way that I can see for us to break out of this situation is to ask Francisca about her testimony in more detail. I thought your duty was to fact-find anything you could about the smuggling. Yes, that was my duty. Upon hearing that the Yatagarasu had sent a calling card to the embassy, Ambassador L was called upon her to protect the embassy. That incident 7 years ago, or have you forgotten what happened here back then? Anything I really should were involved appears rather both of them were shot at. That's why. Looks like you remember the case after all. Of course I do. I inspected every location, every possible, and every aspect of the police security detail. I did all that. And after that, so, you were at the theater as well? Yes, sir. You were also there as well, watching the tape. So, yes, so Francisco was there. Well, after the show was over and I saw the Steel Samurai off, why did you need to confirm the degree of the preparation for even the speech? Kitty's sake, of course. What other reason could I have had? No one knew just how the Yatagrasu was planned on getting in, right? Yes, I suppose you're right. And in the end, the Yatagrasu did choose to appear in the road garden, even if it turned out to be nothing more than a shadow. Who could have thought that she would use a shadow? Ah! Calm down, Francisca! Nursing a grudge over the fact that she couldn't figure it out herself. Anyways, there was no one in the rose garden. We were aware that the speech was set to start soon thereafter. Time to match Drew's body is yet to be found in this room. Is that correct? Right. But Ambassador Alba was here. One can hardly miss his rather large presence. A criminal will say anything to get out of getting arrested. How do we know you're not lying? Well, if you need proof, I'd be happy to oblige. Seriously? Like I keep telling you, when I arrived at this office, Ambassador Alba was already here. He was standing by the flower box on the windowsill, watering his plant. I can attest to that. I remember speaking with the lovely lady around that time you were in my office. Grrr. Alright then, add that statement to your testimony and let's hear some details. So Ambassador Alba was in this room at the time, was he? When I arrived, Ambassador Alba was watering the flowers on the windowsill.
Hold it!
For the sake of being thorough, I'd like to ask you something. How did you know that Ambassador Alba was watering his plants at the windowsill? By that, the entrance to this room is on this side, however, the window is on the opposite side. If what you say is true, then when you enter the room, his body would have been like a wall. He would have been blocking your view of what he was doing. Isn't that not correct? I suppose it's a bit hard to see around it. But fortunately for me, Ambassador Alba is not an immovable wall. I knocked before I entered, and as I did, he turned around to greet me with a watering can in his hand. So it's only natural to believe that he was watering his plants, right? Does it? After his greeting, we spent a little time talking about flowers. He had tamed them himself and had grown them to the utmost care, you know. Good. The plants in this room, they're like my children. The passion flowers and the flower backs on the windowsill are growing beautifully too. All four of them are in full bloom. What did you just say now? I said that the flowers are growing beautifully. What about that statement do you not understand? What do I not understand? I do not understand why a certain thing is the way it is. I'd like for you to append that statement to your testimony. Very well. There were 4 large passion flowers in full bloom in the flower box. like to confirm this with you one more time. There were 4 passion flowers in bloom in that box, correct? Yes, I still hardly think I could have encountered such eye-catching flowers. There must be a deeper meaning to this thing. And it appears that I must take a gamble on hitting for me to make any progress. The Primodoc statues were already split by the time the murder happened. In light of the fact what Franziska saw in this room before the crime is of incredible importance. Well, the contradiction is staring us in the face. Which statement is it? The last. Which piece of evidence? Passion flowers themselves. That one you knew right off the bat.
Objection!
Franziska? For some odd reason, your testimony contradicts with this piece of evidence. It does appear that way. Ah! I knew it! I knew we couldn't trust your words, sis. Mr. Edgeworth! What are you doing? Discrediting Miss Von Karma like that. Yes, sir! If you keep this up, she's gonna get taken away, sir! Hey! All I've done is say what I saw. I have made not a single mistake in my testimony. And for this, I am still under suspicion for murder. Is the number of flowers really all that important at this conjecture, Miles? At this very least, it is a contradiction in this dictionary. One that I find hard to dismiss as irrelevant. Ha! Then let's hear it, prosecutor. What does the number of flowers have to do with anything? What does it prove? I believe the answer to that will become clear if we were to examine the flower box. How did this contradiction come about? There must be something behind the discrepancy. My brother with the utmost care. So I asked you to please consent with them if you examine them, Gregory. I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious-looking nook and cranny. There it goes. Di? What do you say? Probably can see. doing, Mr. Prosecutor? Why'd you clam up all of a sudden? I'm still here, you know. You were looking at that and you weren't sure. Well, we'll figure out the answer to it. There are two of them now. Do you know, Mr. Lang? Flowers are best appreciated in fun. Yeah. Looks like two things were pulled out of this flower box. Okay. So, name of these flowers, I believe they're called cactus. Despite being called flowers, they are actually a species of vine. They appear to be growing well and are well supported by these plant support. Yeah, but no matter how I look at it, it looks like there are only two here to me. You realize, don't you, sis? Your little lie has failed you. Miles Edgeworth, hurry up and shut this man up for me already. Now we're gonna have to show evidence, won't we? I believe I have the piece of evidence you require. Oh, do you? You do you? You have such confidence in the face of your current flight, but I highly doubt it'll last until the end. You howl like a wolf, basically. But we'll see if you have any fight to back up that part after you see this evidence. The truth the passion flowers reveal can be seen in this piece of evidence. You probably already know what this is, right?
Take that!
Gina, who was supposedly in Babal the entire time, had these hair sticks on her. They looked exactly like the plant supports in this flower box. In other words, I believe it can be said that these hair sticks are in actuality support sticks for the packs of flowers. Ha! And so what? Is that really all that's important to this case? Of course it is. It means that we found yet another item that was smuggled between the countries tonight. Hiya! Think about it logically, anyway. These sticks were originally in Alabama, but somehow they wound up in the United States. Who was in Babal the whole time? Make no mistake, these sticks were smuggled somehow, just like the knife in the statue. Very well then. I want to hear from you exactly how they wound up in the ball. There must be some reason why they ended up there. Aha! So that's why. Anyway, if you would please take a look at this and tell me. Tell me it's just another stick, isn't it? So it is, but the shape of the support stick is what's important. From when these are used for something in this world, that's when it all comes into focus. And the object that completes the picture when used with the support stick is... You should be able to figure this one out. No. Spear can't do anything. Remember, it's damaged. But we're talking about what can we use to put the support sticks in and to allow for the support sticks to be smuggled over into the ball. A spear can't do that. I thought I wouldn't be able to send the plant support sticks over to Babal either. No. The statue is not going to be able to send the support sticks over either. This thing's called a crossbow. Think about it. We'll also get to finding out more things that was going on. That's a crossbow! Wait, you're not suggesting... I am. These hair sticks, or rather plant support sticks, they make for perfect arrows. Get it? You see it now, right? Got it. I found the common thread that connects the two pieces. Now you could probably think to yourself, what was the other thing that was smuggled into the ball? But this thread has yet to be completely untangled. Even using the arrows, how does this explain how the statues were transported? Furthermore, who could have been inspired these sticks as arrows? Capcom. Let's read this again. Furthermore, who could it have been who fired these sticks as arrows? There must be a common thread that ties all these things together.
Not so fast!
It's the prosecutor. Hold up a sec. You do realize what happens when you tie a statue to an arrow, right? They don't fly at all. I already know Edgeworth's logic. Border Crossing Part 2. So the ball statue was draped into Yatagarasu's clothes and then shot over there here. Even if you fire the arrows from the side, they don't go far with a statue tied to them. I don't think I need to tell you that the prima dog statues didn't sprout wings. You're not a realist after all, aren't you? The prima dog statues didn't sprout wings. Of course they didn't. Glad you understand. I feel much better already. I was afraid for a second that you were unaware of the crucial fact. It's only crucial because you're under the belief that wings are necessary to this equation. What? You need to free your mind a bit more and let it fly like a bird on the wind. The prima dog statue flew, but not on a wing. Allow me a bit of your time and I'll explain this mysterious phenomenon. But that incredible scene just happened to be caught on film, resulting in this photo. Ah, what an incredible scene it was. This photo was taken by a freelance photojournalist, right? Yeah, so I do. Not every photojournalist is known to be honest, right? Especially not the ones that sell photos of spirits and giant creatures to tabloids. Yes, I know what you mean. We've seen those sorts of photos many a time before. There have been times when these photos have turned out to be telling the truth. If you had ever stood in a court of law, you would know that is entirely plausible. Really believe that stuff you're spewing right now? The courtroom certainly is a strange place. If what you say is true, there really is something odd about that photo, no matter how you look at it. But we are in agreement that an arrow by itself would reach the other side, correct? But just the arrow by itself is pretty meaningless, don't you think, Mr. Prosecutor? Because the things they wanted to smuggle were a lot bigger than nothing. No, that's not necessarily true. What? What I need right now is not further discussion of my conclusion. It's the launch of my conclusion. What the shooter wanted to launch with the crossbow was not the statue itself, but rather something a crossbow can launch that can be used to move the statue. There wasn't a statue that was tied to the arrows. Then what did the crossbow launch? That one should be easy to figure out.
Hold it!
The thing the crossbow launched? Allow me to show you the answer. Well, come on then, show me what you got. But I warn you, I'll know when you're just bluffing. This is what was launched from the elements being offered with the crossbow. This shouldn't be that hard to figure out, guy. Through them again.
Take that!
Hello there, Lobster Tail. Finally. Finally, we have reached this point in our discussion, where I present to you the which was carried by the arrow from the crossbow. Ah, I get it now, Mr. Prosecutor. I can see exactly what you're trying to say. You're saying that the wire was tied to an arrow and then shot into Mr. Coach's office? All the way from the 5th floor of the Albastine Embassy down to the 3rd floor of the Valvalise Embassy? If what you're claiming is really what happened, I can see how the prima dog statue could be. Gravity could use to move the statue down the wire from the 5th to the 3rd floor. Then, what about Babal's prima dog statue? The dark shadow in this photo is clearly flying away from the Babal. Going in the opposite way of gravity from the 3rd floor of the Valvalise Embassy up to the 5th floor. How do you explain that? I can finally see how the gears behind this little trick works. Agent Lang, the motion used behind this trick, I wonder if perhaps you have yet to envision how it works in your head. Motion? What motion? This is the motion that was employed to smuggle Babal's prima dog statue. Only one of these would make sense. Bungee is not going to help us because bungee is only gravity. Because you cannot bring the Babal statue back up on bungee. Swinging is not going to work either. Again, you're thinking gravity. And because it's going to be swung from the 3rd floor, how do you get it back up to the 5th floor? Rotary motion is the only thing that's going to work. I believe it was done via rotary motion. Statues were transported simultaneously. Getting real, the statues would collide somewhere along the way.
Objection!
Did I ever say that there was only one line of wire between the opposites? If you shot an arrow with the two ends of a wire tied to the circular belt, it could be formed. Lengthy says, stone objects and call a success what is beyond reasonable doubt. reasonability. Taking into account the dimension difference between the two wires. The top one would sag too much to the point where the statues would collide anyway.
Objection!
Any length. As you know, the prima dog statue is a one-of-a-kind natural treasure. The fact that the Babal statue is a hollow replica so it naturally be lighter than the real one. My idea is very possible. Like Z says, here is what I believe happened. Miss Yu and her mysterious co-conspirator set themselves up to be different groups. The co-conspirator bridged two rooms by shooting the two ends of the wire down on one aisle, one area. Then the two of them covered the statue and proceeded to reinforce the statue. After the switch was completed, another arrow was fired, carrying the other end of the wire down to the ball where it was to be disposed of. And to do this, the fuse hid it inside the grandfather clock, QED. Ha! Ha ha ha! Grr! He was wet. He was finally wet. This proves it, right, Agent Lang? That I'm not the killer. Not yet, sis. Still haven't had my dessert yet. Right, Mr. Prosecutor? The proof is in the pudding, as it were. Pudding is a nice dessert. So, do you think you can do it? Can you prove that what you said is what happened? Because remember, if you can't, I'll be taking a certain someone back home as a souvenir. I agree that as long as there is no proof, my hypothesis remains just that. However, what I have laid out is no mere hypothesis, for there is one more piece of evidence. One more? This should be interesting. To think you have a piece of evidence that will turn your hypothesis into fact. Well then, let's see it, Mr. Prosecutor. The thing that made it possible to create a circular belt out of a length of wire, I believe that it is right here. Now then, I believe this is what made the circular belt transportation method possible. This one should be very easy, Di. I'm glad you thought of that one.
Take that!
Ha! Looks like you dropped another bomb on us again. The last piece of the trick are two pulleys. Precisely. The ceiling fan doubles as pulleys in this case. And thanks to the fact that there is one installed in each of the offices, the ceiling fans made for the perfect pulley set for the wires to run on. This must be it. This is how the smugglers bypass the impenetrable security. You really are something else, Mr. Prosecutor. I bet you figured it all out already, haven't you? You know who the big hotshot that set up the real life thing, don't you? The person who set up this rather large and needs to be someone who has foreknowledge of the existence of a ceiling fan in both the Elvis team and Baba Lee's office. That's the Patch and Flowers support station. mastermind behind this case? Well, don't dare make this wolf wait for his food. Why are you so hesitant, my neighbor? If you can't say who it is, why don't you present something that you always do? This case will explode into international aid. However, it's already too late for me to stop the floor where it's momentum. It appears that I have no choice. What's your rush in? There is a piece of evidence that will prove us to who the mysterious man. Go through them again. Yeah, there are two pieces of evidence. You can also use the arrows, which were called airspace before. This smuggling could not have been possible without the use of the crossbow. Furthermore, the arrows that were shot by the crossbow were plucked, as it were, from the flower box in this very room. They were planted so long ago that cactus flowers had the time to grow so big that Miss Carson didn't even notice the arrows when she visited this room today. On top of that, the fact that the culprit knew that both officers and team tells us that the person had very detailed information on the embassy's layout. So you may have already guessed the person I am accusing of acting the plan is the person who grew the flowers in the flower box in the utmost air. Thus, it can only be you, Quarkus Elba. You surprised about that verdict, Di? that who you were suggesting? Are you out of your mind, Miles Edgeworth? I'm certain of what I am saying, and I am sure that he is the culprit. Tell me, Mr. Prosecutor, what was the ambassador trying to accomplish by doing all this stuff you just outlined? Why in the world would he need to use a trick like that? I understand you yourself. However, there is one thing that stands out to me and is very odd. Just one thing, huh? The one single and result Ambassador Alba sought to obtain. If he were to examine the focus of this complex check, I believe we will finally find the answer to everything. Everything will become clear once we examine this piece of evidence. I'll give you a hint. There's one thing that has not been investigated. I can't use the tape yet, but we have already investigated the tape. There's still one piece of evidence that we have that still has not been investigated. Well, we can't use it here because we can't exactly use that because we don't even have any idea if it's relevant to this case. definitely not gonna be good. I don't even know why this is still here, but here I will. No, actually, we've already analyzed the handwriting. This is Manny Coach's handwriting. This is a totally should be pretty easy to figure out. Found thing? No, there's nothing to investigate with the found. I can't use that one. I can't use that piece. That's illegal. But that has also been fully investigated. This has not been fully investigated. We've investigated the ball statue, or typically, the ball statue's in LMS right now, but we have not fully investigated the LMS River statue. This one has not been fully investigated.
Take that!
I would... You mix up the two? I would fully understand the reasoning had the situation been the reverse. However, to go through the trouble of swapping the real Prima Dog statue for fake, I sense a very shady reason for such a bizarre action. And who better to ask for the reason than King Primadox himself? I see. Ambassador. We'll be examining the statue now, with or without your permission. We already know that there's a this guy kind of looks like the steel steroid, don't you think? Maybe it's because they look a lot alike that he was well adapted. Hey, you're right. Maybe it's meant to be some kind of perhaps possible What? Hurry up and open it, Miles. Alright, here goes. Wow! It really did open up! Hey, what's this thing that fell out? I believe a bit more thorough examination of it is required. So what do you think this is, Di? What in the... is this? Hey! Is that what I think it is? It's a plate for making counterfeit bills. Somehow it appears that we've at last arrived at the exit to this complex labyrinth. We finally hold within our hands one of the counterfeit money and the reason why the replica was smuggled into Elabest to begin with. Counterfeit plate data jotted down in my organizer. The Permadox statute can only be handled by the ambassador or the secretary. And the replica is nothing more than a hollow shell. Cards are covered in gold. These two circumstances make the statue the ideal object in which to hide contraband. After receiving the statue containing the counterfeit plate in China, the ambassador had the misfortune of accidentally running into the masked dude. Surprised by the thief, the ambassador raised the replica statue of the masked dude, and then, in order to frame the steel samurai of the murder, he covered the samurai sword in blood. Well, Ambassador Elba? You've been rather quiet, don't you think, Di? You're the leader of the smuggling ring? My country is a mess. And it's all because of you? You're the one who killed the master. Answer us. I never thought you would figure things out. However, there is one point I disagree with. The head of the smuggling was Mr. Goat.
Not so fast!
Quit squirming around. I had no sympathy for someone who had tried to pass the guilt onto a dead man. But there is one thing I'm sure of, is that you're the real ringleader, Corcus Elba. How good is such subjectivity, though, Agent Lang? Subjectivity? My conclusion is anything but. That is the result of logic and investigation. Logic and investigation? Only seconds ago, you were ready to arrest Miss Fung Karma. I don't think you such flip-flopping logic. Wait. Looks like you still don't get why I came back. You see, the real reason I came back is so that I can stick my fangs into your recruitment. From the very beginning, my real target has been... What? Agent Lang, I demand an were able to gain a connection and yeah, if I hadn't done that, I doubt the password would have given me a certain fucker out. Very well. I will forgive you. But in exchange for using me as bait, you will take the responsibility of helping us. Dwayne, for giving me such a great opening, and thank you. So, it did with the prosecutor. Somehow, we were able to find the truth at the end of this room. You wouldn't be able to figure out the truth. That's what Brandon thought. The evidence had been combined with the logic of the prosecutor. That's just a mistake. The prosecutor no about all that. One thing I do know is that I didn't Hey, you were the one who was playing me to put all the skill on this. Actually, you I wish we could stop trying to intimidate. What we need right now is evidence and what is necessary to do. I'm the head of the smuggling.
Objection!
Don't be such a sore loser. If you really are the head of the smuggling ring, then you should acknowledge your crimes with dignity. Dignity? That is nothing more than a fool's insecure display of you really wish for me to acknowledge my crime, then I would like to first see some of the things you call evidence. Excuse me. Itchy again. Itchy. Itchy, itchy, itchy. There we go. We'll see how long that'll last. I'm doing good so far. We got 2 hours to go. Grr. I tell you, I knew nothing. You didn't know the punishment thing was hidden. Liar.
Objection!
You swapped the real statute that vested in your country the authority to rule for a state. It doesn't make any sense if you didn't know anything. Doesn't make sense? Where doesn't it make sense? Can you prove that it doesn't make sense? Turn the entire situation around against us. Proof that Interpol has sent after which points to this man as the criminal. We can somehow find that proof now, and we can see to it that justice is finally served. There's nothing I can use to break this case wide open? With those 2 items, I might be able to finally bring this man down. But the card and evidence from the case will marinate and the thing stolen by Detective Dad from the police. They're both illegal evidence. No matter what, a prosecutor in the law is allowed of evidence. Needless to say, Los Karmas are commanded to achieve nothing but victory, and by any means necessary. The only way to bring someone like that to justice was to do so outside of the court. That's what we thought at the time. No longer follow the path of contract, and I won't follow the path of chaotic crime. Which leads me to what? What creed will I believe in? If I want to pursue the truth, then I will throw in my hand in illegality. And if I want to pursue justice, then I will lose the truth. What is the law? What is justice? So if this is exactly how the Japanese law is, then you can already see that the law is broken. However, that's not to say that it's not broken here in the United States. Because everything that he's stating here, our laws can't even adjust to this either. Because if we present any illegal evidence in court, then we are liable to charges as well. Despite the fact that it could be evidence that is necessary to convict an actual criminal. Our law states that we can't use illegal evidence to indict somebody. So, this is the scariest situation in law itself. And I'm pretty sure every attorney across the entire world has had this situation checked them. If they haven't yet, they will soon come across it. This path is a prosecutor supposed to follow. That choice is what I must make by my own hand, here and now. Want to use it. There is no limit to the law. Any limit that exists is set, was set there by man. If a person goes beyond the limit, then the law too crosses its new territory. For what reason were laws invented? The answer to that is what I must now tell. Ambassador Alba, I wonder if you might recognize this. Oh, I wonder what that code is. I've never seen that before in my life. It's a directives card used by the leader of the ring to relay instructions to his subordinates. Oh, is that what it is? This card was sent to the real culprit behind the KGA incident. A man by the name of Mr. Manny Cochin. Oh, why do you have such a card in your possession? Because it was and delivered to me by a certain great thief, Yada Garasi. No, nonsense. Let's do it. You have any specific cards? Card in the video two pieces of evidence are what will seal your fate. Very curious in Garasu has been all this time. Now stands before me. I can't allow this man who has had free reign for 10 long years to simply walk away. Now is the time for me to bring the fusion to build the valiant spirit that was given me. March 15th, 1:34 a.m. The Atrium Neutralis lobby. What is this that you want to do? Detective W. Yes, sir. What you see here is security footage shot just before the Kinky incident. In the footage, we know that this card is the director's card. This is the section that proves that the card was used to delay an order. No, read what it says. This is the section that proves the card was used to delay an order. What do you see in there that? Carpet's not on this poster. The carpet would not be relayed in order. I don't know why you like this.
Take that!
As you can see, Mr. Coach is holding the card in his right hand. The killer is holding the card. are, in fact, one and the same. All we have to do is simply take a look at this. Alright. You see it, Di? I hope you can see it this time. This dark red blood. Yes, this is your proof. Proof that the orders on this card were played out in that terrible tragedy. The blood belonging to the victim of the KG8 incident. They say you. With a bit of DNA testing, we can very easily verify that as fact. If you have no objections, then I'd like for you to take a look at this next piece of footage. This car that passed by in front of the victim's apartment building, it's an official Canopian government car. What? Check the drug dealer. This area of the footage directly links the smuggling ring of Canopy.
Take that!
The shape of this pocket and the detective's card in it. It tells us that without a doubt this person in this car is Mr. Coach. Something else. That guy? You know what that is? License plate on the car was also captured by security. We can find out who was sitting in this car on the day 10 years ago. This is why I can say with confidence that you were riding in this car on that day. You've done well, boy, to make it this far. He looks different, don't he, Di? However, about your claim that I was riding that car at the same time, that's going to be mighty difficult to prove. How so? The principality of Utopia no longer exists. So naturally, all records from the time period also no longer exist. We finish here, boy. What did I do now? There must be something here that I can use against him. And what is that, guy? what the? Ambassador Elba. Yes? What is it? You were once an army man in the service of Cadopia. And it was you who made the many missions you participated in success. Correct? Why the sudden backhanded phrases, boy? Although to be sure, the brilliant medals on my breast were awarded to me during the era of Cadopia. And now, I am the only one who owns this particular medal. The only person it could be who is sitting in this car is you. How do you figure that? By the medal captured here in this footage, it is clearly the same exact medal as the one on your chest. What? This is how it will be, but I won't look back. For this is the path that I have chosen. You'll move me with your devotion to this case, Mr. Edgeworth. Why is he making such an arrogant stance? It's almost looking possible, isn't it? For the lot of you to have come this far. Looks like I just might lose our little game. You might lose the game this time. You don't get another round, Mr. Ambassador. Is that a fact? Very well. I've decided to confess and admit my guilt. You're going to confess? And I will accept whatever punishment that may come as a result. What the? Regarding the mask 2 murder, I admit it. I did it. Out of self-defense. You're claiming it was justified self-defense? The mask 2 attacked me, and I felt that my life was in danger. If I hadn't done what I did, I might be the one you found dead instead of him. Ha 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 ha. What a pathetic performance. Ha 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 ha. I'm not giving you one. Wow! You two really know how to laugh at inappropriate times. If you wish to claim it was justified self-defense, then we will need some evidence. That's always the evidence with you, isn't it? But if that's what you require, I'll prove it. The man left a mark on me when he attacked. What? I don't particularly want to show it off, but this is proof that it was in self-defense. I'm an old man. Sometimes I don't pay enough attention when I speak. But the masked dude didn't have a single weapon on his body. Hold on. It's nothing to get worked up over, because I hit the weapon. You hit it? I'm sorry. But as you know, a murder is a murder. Even if it's in self-defense. And I couldn't let it become public. Seeing as how I am an ambassador. This is the weapon you see. My special bonsai trimming shears. Covered in blood. He was trembling quite badly during our struggle. But that's when he grabbed the shears that were sitting in my office and attacked. You see, it was an act of self-defense. Is he right, Mr. Edgeworth? The dam's both the wound and the weapon that caused it is enough to declare so. Ambassador Elba's wound that I got it down in my order. No way! Oh, which reminds reminds me. I guess there is still one more accusation I need to resolve. Smuggling and counterfeiting. Unfortunately, all that is my secretary doing. I had no knowledge it was going on.
Knock him back!
Stop spewing nonsense. You're trying to throw my investigation under the bus in your desperation. If you want to get real honest, everything in this case has been connected to you. The murder of the Nat 2 was done in self-defense. In my trial, no man came trying to lie. Perhaps so. If you were my opponent in court. However, there is one very important fact that I think you may have forgotten. Ah! You know what he's referring to, Di? You know what he's referring to. I'm certain you know what he's referring to. Extraterritorial rights. That's what you mean. Extraterritorial rights. That's right. This embassy sits on what is effectively Alabastine soil. So any trail that is to be held will be held in Alabast. Therefore, the crime I just admitted to will never be tried in your court. Agent Lang, what is Interpol's stance on this? And investigate. That's our job. The judgment of people who have confessed to their crime, that's the court's job. And I've already confessed to all of my crimes, Agent Lang. Furthermore, by the very nature of my position, I have full extraterritorial rights. These rights are effective even on your country's soil. Therefore, no matter where a crime may take place, I will never stand trial in one of your courts. That's arrogant. And your expression. That's nothing like the fate of someone who is ready to accept the consequences. Don't tell me you have your own country's judicial system eating right out of your hand. These crimes you all speak so seriously of? To me, this has all been nothing more than a game. You may take me out of this embassy with your accusation, but it's no big deal. LMS has numerous border embassies in other countries around the world. All you would accomplish is you would change the backdrop of our little game. 2 layers of protection. Extraterritorial provides. That's why he is one of those who cannot be brought to court. Say now, don't you? I live in a whole different world than you. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to go back your addiction papers. There's nothing we can do. Okay. So the last 2 parts that we have are going to be done next week. And I say this because that is going to be the last of this game. Because the following week, we'll be taking a break 1 week. And then we're going to move into Prosecutor's Gambit. Any thoughts, criticisms? Must be one of those Mondays, right? Let's hope the fairy isn't catching my cold. Okay, so let's put things together. So Ambassador Alba is right now on the spot. He's accused of murdering Damas 2. He confessed to his crime. Still has not confessed to the smuggling ring. However, we're in a predicament where it's nearly impossible for us to accuse him because of where he's at. Because of the extraterritorial right. And that happens anywhere you go. When you cross borders to another country, there are such thing as extraterritorial rights. Okay, so like say we'll use Canada and United States. If a crime happened in Canada, it has to go into Canada's court. Okay, it doesn't matter if you're from the U.S. or anything. If you committed a crime in Canada, you have to do you have to go to Canada's courts. Okay, so that's how the law works. It doesn't matter. I mean, you're over there in Japan. You commit a crime in Japan, you have to go to the Japanese courts. That's just how it is. That's just how the laws work. So, and that's how they implemented it here in the game. So that is basically part of how real life works. However, we have to be able to finish the game. We have to connect. Anyways, like I said, we got 2 more parts left. We're gonna do both parts next week. If it takes me over 4 hours, take me over 4 hours. That's nothing I can do. I will just have to muscle it through. Hope it doesn't take me over 4 hours. Fairy Brain is going to probably be working overtime next week. Anyways, after this stream, we will be working on the Wacky World Football League off season. So that's where we're going to go. Take this to the end scene. And then the following week, I'm going to figure out what to play. If it reads starting off with the other career mode from NCAA 11, we'll do that. If it leads me to do anything else that corresponds with the month of October, tomorrow's October, 1st of October. Wednesday we'll start Castlevania, NES port, Castlevania 1, 2, and 3, both the Famicom port and the NES port. If I get through those games in the start of October, I will try out then the rest of the week is pretty scheduled. Games. Sunday, Saturday, we're going to take a break from Mr. Prime. We're going to start with Castlevania 4, Castlevania Bloodlines, Castlevania Legends, Castlevania Adventure. Whatever games left, we'll probably work on for. I don't think so. Legends and Adventure is not on the Castlevania collection, but they are on the System get to all of them. We'll try. We'll try. That's all I can say. The only ones that I won't be doing is the one-off. Microphone has not been clipped on me this whole stream, and you guys are probably wondering why I didn't sound loud enough, right? My mistake. I hope I was loud enough to be heard, though. I should have had mic check. I should have mic check, and I would be like, yeah, I don't hear you on the mic. I hear you, but I don't hear you on the mic. Anyways, let's go find a raid target. So to avoid spoilers, I know a lot of you have not played the Echoes of Wisdom, so I won't go to any stream that features Echoes of Wisdom, okay? Guy, I'm sure you want to play it. I know Phoenix has to play it. So the only one I think I'm going to drop into is right now is I'll get you a link here to that. Okay, we're going to go to Wright. Drop her link. Doing Tower Fantasy. And that's going to be it for me for tonight. Might have been a good thing I didn't strap myself to a microphone, because I have been congested. But you guys can hear that I'm starting to get better now. Stuff is starting to move, so that sounds like I'm getting better, right? Alright, that's going to be it for me for tonight. You guys all have a good night.